Well, what is up, Crazy X? It is Paranormal Tuesday. Thank you for checking out today's video. I'm wearing an appropriate shirt, I think. The Queen Mary. Why don't we talk about it? The Queen Mary is probably my first major investigation I was given the opportunity of doing. It was back in January 13th to the 17th, 2007. I got this opportunity. I had kind of fallen out with Salem Paranormal. As I kind of, I believe I talked about it last week, was got more or less people who had my number saved as me had like left the group or something had happened with them, and they weren't really part of the group anymore. And I think some of the people had my number, but they didn't have it saved, or they had it saved, but they didn't recognize the name. So I had kind of fallen kind of in the wayside. It was funny because when they actually found me, like, no way, we've been searching for you. It was on Facebook they found me, and we reconnected, joined right back in, and, you know, definitely great group of guys. But this was one where it's like, you know, I'd now been out on a couple investigations. I didn't want to just stay home. I didn't want to, you know, like, I still wanted to do this. So I found this group, Darkness Side of the Radio, with Dave Schrader. No, we should probably give him proper credit. Yes, Darkness Radio. He was doing this group. I believe they still do some of these. He's kind of became pretty big now. But he used to host this radio show, and they would do these paranormal retreats. So I signed up for this one. This is just down in Los Angeles, Long Beach. So yeah, January 13th, I was off to the LBC on a mission trying to find the RMS Queen Mary. I tried. I tried. So I went down there. It was actually like a day early. I guess technically it was 2 days. No, it was a day early. So I'd gone down there, checked in the hotel, got situated. And then the next day, I went down to the aquarium, just checking out the aquarium, which was right across the bay from the Queen Mary. So I took a couple pictures of there. I believe I went out and ate at the Bubba Gump. We don't have a Bubba Gump in my area, so it was kind of a nice little treat checking that place out. I'm like, I don't even know if I knew they existed other than the movie. I mean, I didn't know it was a real restaurant. And I'm noticing I've changed this up, so let me switch this back over. See if there's anything. Wanted to try something a little different here. Woo! We're going on a field trip. So that's the bottom of a stingray that was swimming by. I was at the Aquarium of the Pacific. I visited there, and then I went over to the Queen Mary, where we had the mixer, the meet and greet. These are a little crooked now, I'm noticing. I apologize. Grab photos from that here real quick. The other thing that was interesting is they didn't have just animals from like the aquarium. They actually had all sorts of different animals. A wallaby there. This is like an old website that I set up. It's Fataki, and I want to say you could visit this. I still have the subscription to it. Don't really update it too much, but a lot of my older pictures are on here. Here is that's the Carnival cruise ship, and that's the Queen Mary right there. Another interesting thing, I don't know if you can see it, there's this dome back here. And I was kind of intrigued with what that dome was, and I found out that Disney at one point actually owned both the Queen Mary and that dome area, and inside that dome was the Spruce Goose, which I had just seen the movie about the Spruce Goose. So I'm like, wait, it used to be where I'm standing. well, that's kind of cool that it used to be here, but where is it at now? And then someone's like, oh, well, it's actually in Oregon. I'm like, wait, what? Because of course I'm from Oregon. I'm like, what do you mean it's of all the places it could be? Why in the world would it be in Oregon? So I was kind of stunned to hear that. But yeah, it's up in. I'm trying to think of the name of the city. It's slipping my mind right now. The spruce goose was obviously not something I was planning on talking about. Just kind of snuck in there. Let's see, is it McMinnville? Doesn't sound right. Yeah, we can never do enough off the cuff stuff here. I also hate calling it, Hughes H4 Hercules. He actually despised the name the Spruce Goose. But yeah, Evergreen Aviation. I know this isn't the best. Some of this stuff's coming up here grainy. I do apologize. Yeah, McMinnville. All right, now going back to what we were talking about here. So when I first got on board the Queen Mary, I actually quickly got snuck into a haunted tour that they offer there. It's separate from our group. It's just something that they normally do. This is the first class swimming pool, which we actually did have something happen there, which we'll talk about a little bit later. Not from this group, though. This was later on. Back to just a regular review. Hope I'm not making you guys too seasick. I'm sorry if I am. Okay, so went on board, did a quick tour, and then it was off to the meet and greet, which it's gonna be one of those areas where I'll show you some photos of. Back to the seasickness, I'm sorry. Got to meet these guys here, Jason Hawes and Grant Wilson. Donna and Lisa from Ghost Hunters as well. Believe for that part that may have been only photos that I took. This guy here, that's Dave Schrader. And that was our first day. It was just kind of like a little meet and greet. I think they had some drinks and stuff like that was served. I think they call it like a... All right. Put you guys back over here. And then, so the next day was just kind of a day of kind of like lectures. You got to sit down and listen to some of the people speak, talk about things that they do, why they do them, reasons for different stuff. In between some of the lectures, I just explored the ship, walked around it. And then that evening, we actually had dinner with everybody. And it was interesting. As I got there, I looked, and at every table, for the most part, there was a chair that was kind of like pushed in, and then the two seats next to it were reserved. So I'm like, well, what's going on here? Like, that's weird. And then I found out that that one chair, one of the special guests is going to be sitting at, and the two seats next to it are going to be auctioned off. So if you're the highest bidder, you get to sit in that chair they'd auction off the right and they'd auction off the left seat, and you get to sit next to that speaker. So I'm like, well, they're auctioning off the right and the left chair. What if I sit in that chair? Or what if I sit in that chair? That chair's not being auctioned off. I'm pretty much sitting right next to the guest of honor, and I'm not paying. Okay, well, not necessarily the best. It does support charity. Do support charity if you can. I just wasn't really in a place that I had a lot of extra money where I could. But ready, field trip time. Whee! Who was in the chair? Grant Wilson. So I got you see they have these that was his seat, and then they have this napkin over the other seat to kind of signify that it was reserved. And was there the and then I kind of throughout the night went and got photos with everybody else. Some of these kind of didn't turn out too well, so I kind of played around with some of the colors to make them stick out a little bit. Actually, this photo that you're seeing is a lot better than what I'm looking at on my screen. Donna from Ghost Hunters wearing this cool Zack Attack shirt. Friends forever. Jason Hawes. We're all babies back then. Chris Fleming. And then, as you can see here, that seat's reserved. So I was sitting right here, and Grant was sitting right there. I think that's kind of the last one we have. Oh, then another one where I kind of played with the skews with me and Jason Hawes rocking the Zack Attack t-shirt. And then back to Dave Schrader. The other thing that happened that was kind of cool, and I didn't really know a lot about this at the time. One of the people on the ship with us, he wasn't one of the special guests or anything like that. He was just a regular guy that was on the, bought a ticket just like I did. And we'll see him here. This was a hypnotist show. This guy right here. Let's see if I can find any more photos. There's one they're having them act like they're driving a car. Let's jump back up to the driving their dream cars, and they'd go up to him like, what kind of car was it? This guy's really liking his car. Oh, there's another one of him standing up there. So this guy, who is he? He wrote a movie that was actually pretty big. And one of the stars you'll know as soon as I say the line, because he's had enough of these mother effing snakes on this mother effing plane. That's right, he wrote Snakes on a Plane with Samuel L. Jackson. Had a puppet show. Now what they did is they divided the group into two sections, especially, I don't know if you see, I showed a couple pictures. I didn't directly show them and talk about them, but there's a lot of people on this ship. So as opposed to having everybody on a paranormal investigation at the same time, that would not go over well. They divvied us up into smaller groups. So night one, half the group went to the hypnotist show and the puppet show, and then the next day, Oh, is that photo not in here? I do not see that photo I'm looking for. The next day, we would do the investigation. So that first night, I had the show, the hypnotist show, and that one. The next night, I went out and did the investigation. And I'm gonna have to look for one other thing here. I apologize. I thought for sure that photo. It's weird that photo's not in there. The other one thing that happened that was really cool was, so we got to investigate certain areas of the ship. There's quite a few photos that are missing there. That's weird. And so we got to go to these different areas of the ship, and one of the areas we did was the first class pool. Now, I was doing the investigation. The person that was kind of leading that area was Chris Fleming. So I have this photo of me and Chris sitting there at the pool, and Chris says, if anyone has any questions, to go ahead and ask, because we're doing an EVP session at the time. So I'm sitting here, we're trying to reach out to this child, this girl spirit, in the first class swimming pool. I don't know if it's a girl, it's a child, or in a pool. Me and Chris are sitting there. We kind of have like our feet dangling, almost like if there had been water, our feet would be in the water. But there's, the pool's empty, obviously, so there's no water. So I'm like, what would a little girl, a child, be playing in a pool? So I'm like, Marco. A couple people chuckle. Chris kind of turns and looks at me. He's like, I don't think they. What happened is he kind of stops his train of thought, because we can just feel the temperature of the room plummet. Like, it just dropped. So it's like we didn't get, it wasn't my tape recorder, so I never got to hear the tape recorder. So I don't know if we actually got a Polo. I don't know if we got a response on there. But still, really cool times. There is that photo. Just me and Chris. Other people there too, but me and Chris are sitting there with our feet kind of dangling. And like, there's a person that's actually down in the pool. That's how they captured that photo. But whenever I post this photo, that's what's going on here. Is I think it was beforehand, but that's the photo I call Marco Polo. Yeah, and also it's like a little keychain that he had that was like a little glowworm, as I recall. I think they're trying to get the spirit to kind of, oh, that's for another time. Hello? You guys remember the Stanley Hotel? You guys show that one. This one was actually another interesting story. This was on the Queen Mary, was also referred to as the Gray Ghost. With the Gray Ghost during World War II, it was used in the war, capture prisoners, and they place them in this holding area, and that's where this photo is taken outside of. Now, we had K2s. K2s were brand new at the time. K2 measures the electric magnetic field, EMF. So, like, if a surge of energy approaches, like as energy comes in, it lights up. As energy goes away, the lights will go back down. So we're over just like this. I mean, it was kind of like, I guess, like a holding, like where you put supplies and stuff like that. Just this giant pit. And it's where they would put German soldiers. Now, we'd stand over this and nothing would happen. But then somebody would say something in German, woof, 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 light up. It would just light up and then go right away. Light up, go. You can't speak energy. Like, I mean, I can't talk to my phone and charge it through energy coming out of my mouth that will then charge the phone. That doesn't happen. But that's what's happening here. Like, we're speaking German, and then all of a sudden, energy is coming into the room. It's triggering these lights to go off, and then would dissipate. So that was another really cool experience. I mean, this was back in 2007. So, I mean, we're talking, what, 14 years ago? Those are the two major stories that I recall. I'm sure we had other ones. We had smaller things. But, I mean, for me, the coolest one is always the Marco Polo. I mean, I just love I don't think it's just the room temperature. Like, it's like noticeable. Like, you feel it getting colder. So, I mean, that was just a really cool experience. And then, as I said, I kind of already forgot about that one. That was another cool experience. If you ever get the chance, definitely check out the Queen Mary. They do offer just a paranormal tour. It's not like you're not going in there. I think they do offer one where you can actually do a real investigation. But it's kind of more the history, and it's kind of rigged up. So, like, we have ghost children. Like, they'll rig up where this gate will open, but it's not real. It's them recreating the stories that have happened, but it's not like it's happening in real time. Kind of like, like those TV shows, America's Most Wanted, how, they actually weren't really recording the criminal commit the crime. They had reenactors reenact the scene. So they've got things that are set up to reenact the experiences that have been recorded. But yeah, if you're ever out in Long Beach, check it out. Really cool. I saw some new photos of, like, was it room B340? I think it was. I got to see it. It was a real hotel room. It was a room you could book. It was one of the more popular rooms, so it was hard to book. It usually would be sold out. I guess it would be booked, not sold out, because you don't really run out of a room. The room's always there. But I guess now it's just they've had too many complaints, and it's now gutted. Kind of sad to see that stuff. But yeah, check it out if you ever get the opportunity. They do haunted houses down there. That'd be another cool thing to go check out. But yeah, just a lot of history there, and I mean, it's a cool ship. So if you're in Long Beach, check it out. Well, that is our stories for this week on Paranormal Tuesday. Don't forget our Halloween. That should be epic. I mean, it hasn't happened yet. It's happening that week. And then we're going to load and talk about, I don't really know how much I can and can't say. And I do know, and it's funny, like, we're doing a big investigation. But it's one of those places that it's funny. We'll provide you ghost hunting equipment. We'll let you use ghost hunting equipment. But there's no cameras or video recording. Have you guys seen any ghost hunting television shows? Ghost Hunters, Taps. Well, I guess that is Ghost Hunters. Ghost Adventures, Ghost Nation, Ghost Loop. Check out Ghost Loop. What do you see? Cameras recording pictures because it captures evidence. Like, if you want the most basic ghost hunting equipment, it's your cell phone. Your cell phone actually is everything, because your cell phone is a camera, it is video recording, and most of the time you can record audio on there. But I mean, the most basic ghost hunting equipment is a camera, a video recorder, and a tape recorder. We'll provide you with ghost hunting equipment, but no video and no recording. I find that just hilarious because, yeah, I mean, I had a feeling. I couldn't record the feeling. I couldn't, like, take a picture of what I was feeling. But I felt something. It's like, I find that hilarious. I mean, I will respect the rules. And, of course, I'm going to be reporting back to you guys what happened. And we can take videos outside the location, so of course I'm going to be doing that. But yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. Uh, Lots of cool things, amazing things, and I mean, it could possibly be one of the most haunted locations in the area, in America, in the world. Um, I mean, it could be. You could make the argument. So I'm excited for it. So be sure to check that out. Halloween. All right. Once again, it's Real Kid Krazy. Crazy with a K. RealKidKrazy. You want to email me, realkidkrazy@gmail.com. You want to like my page on Facebook, @RealKidKrazy. Instagram, Twitter, all @RealKidKrazy. You want to write to us, you want to send us something, that address is down below. And if you like what we do, if you're just in the marketplace, I've got a lot of cool things. We actually have a Dundee Award signed by Rainn Wilson, Dwight Schrute, on the Mercari site right now. So you can check out the Mercari site. I mean, there's also, I've got plushes, autographs, kitchen stuff. I've got like Dorothy and Toto salt and pepper shakers. There's a lot of cool chachotskis over there. So check that out. And if you're not already registered on Mercari, I have a coupon down below that'll save you at least $10. If you set up a shop, you can also get another $20 there too. So check that out. Till next time, stay crazy, my friends.